Chapter 15 International Relations. Apart from the kingdom of the Lord, there is not on this earth any nation that is superior to any other. The perpetuation of the status quo will not, in the long run, serve even the narrow interests of the few, and it will inevitably prove disastrous to the world economic situation. It is, therefore, to be ardently hoped that the governments of the economically advanced countries will rise to this challenge and join in a concerted effort to alleviate the world's economic ills, which are but the root and cause of many other international problems. Many learned men have on various occasions sought to abolish war and establish an everlasting peace. Treaties have been signed and organizations formed to achieve this goal, but because they lacked guarantees, these efforts uniformly failed, and to gain their ends, countries even resorted to the production and use of poison gas. Now nations are producing weapons which not only constitute a terrible danger to those against whom they might be used, but in fact could mean the end of mankind, and again there are no guarantees. If these awful weapons are used, who will bear the responsibility? If man has not sought out the protection of God, as well as prepared himself for self-protection, the havoc and ruin that can be brought down upon the race of human beings is beyond the bounds of imagination. Global peace and security can only be permanently secured if all people of the world pool their resources towards the complete eradication of man's common enemies: ignorance, hunger, and disease. Small nations ought to refrain from making themselves tools for igniting friction between the great powers. We must work together to end little wars, which are consuming the energies of the small nations and decimating our people. Today, the great powers should also wake up to the realization of the fact that the key to their destiny and future happiness does not lie in their own hands alone. There is no peace without cooperation. Be it known that the principle enshrined in the Charter and the resolutions adopted by the organization are not there only for the small nations to respect and to implement. In efforts being made to ease the gravity of world problems, the small nations should have a say. Their voices should be heard. Differences in economic and social systems should not give rise to mistrust and misunderstanding among nations. On the contrary, we should accept diversity in culture and tradition and coexist peacefully. If we remain faithful to the principles of Bandung and apply them in our international life, we will maximize the influence which we can bring to bear on world problems. The American people can make a significant contribution to guaranteeing that a deep and abiding friendship exists between Africa and the United States of America. Learn more about us. Learn to understand our backgrounds, our culture and traditions, our strengths and weaknesses. Learn to appreciate our desires and hopes, our problems, our fears. If we truly know one another, a solid and firm basis will exist for the maintenance of friendly relations. You may be assured that there will be no failure in the warm and brotherly response from our side. We are impressed by the achievement of the Japanese people in reaching a most advanced technology and creating a most flourishing economy without losing their ancient virtues nor their traditional personal and social values. Theirs is an example to be meditated upon and to be followed by other nations who are striving to solve their problems and to build their future in this troubled world. Cooperation among all nations of the world, East and West alike, is not only possible and desirable, but indispensable for the welfare of mankind. The stake of each one of us is identical: life or death. We all wish to live. We all seek a world in which men are freed of the burdens of ignorance, poverty, hunger, and disease, and we shall all be hard-pressed to escape the deadly rain of nuclear fallout should catastrophe overtake us. No system, not even that of collective security, can succeed unless there is not only a firm determination to apply it universally, both in space and time, but also whatever the cost. Nowhere can the call for aid against aggression be refused by any state, large or small. It is rather a universal principle, or it is no principle at all. To be sure, there exists throughout the world a sense that something must be done and, as well, a belief that all that should be done is being done. But in terms of the enormous resources squandered in wars or in the amassing of weapons of destruction, or even devoted to the enthralling conquest of space, the amount which is allotted to bettering the existence of the individual in the developing world is little indeed.